Hello, people. Welcome to Real Talk. My name is Odun Akirele. Hold on, sorry. Okay. Welcome to Real Talk. My name is Odun Akirele, and this is Real Talk. If you are a new person joining the show for the first time, we welcome you. Yeah, Adebola Amira is our first to join today. Thank you, sis. Good afternoon from this end. And welcome one, welcome all. So we are sorry, I need to apologize. We are sorry because I know we are like way behind schedule. But you know, we need to put all these things together and make this happen for each and every one of you there. But we apologize. We are sorry. This is Real Talk, and thank you for joining, Adeshola. Thank you. So we are just going to go straight into it. And before we go on and talk about why we are here today, I just need to make this to say some things. First and foremost, there will be an announcement after the end of the show. And secondly, yeah, let's just leave it like that. When we get to the end of the show, we'll talk about whatever we need to talk about. So straight into it. Financial literacy. What is financial literacy? I made a post earlier and I said, get your writing material and be ready to learn. Because I am going to learn today as well. Because most of the times we think we know how to manage our finances, but when we talk to the professionals or people that actually does this for a living, we find out that we are just like, we really don't know anything. So I am learning, I am here to learn today, and you all are also here to learn today. So I have 3 guests that are supposed to do this with me today, but for now we have 2. One of our guests is actually a top fan. She's a top fan of Real Talk. She's always here every week. And I want to really give her a shout out because when we had some issues yesterday and I was running around trying to get who would come on the show, she offered and she said, I went for a training, like something similar to that recently. So I'll come talk about it. So I want to give her props, Bimbo. Her name is Bimbo. We know her as Ame, but her name is Bimbo. Thank you for doing this. We appreciate you. My second guest is
You're welcome, ma.
is someone that she's one of the people that I just rushed on yesterday as well, and I said I'm in a kind of a fix. I need you to, fill it in. Even though I called a friend and the friend said, "Oh, I know the right person." And when I spoke with her yesterday, she said, "Oh, I'll be there." I appreciate it a lot. I do not take this for granted. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Odun.
Yeah, thank you. So, like I said, we really don't have time to waste. So we are just going to go straight into it. And I'm going to ask you first, Morenke, what is financial literacy to you?
Yeah.
What is financial literacy?
Oh, okay. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for having me on the show. Financial literacy basically means, being knowledgeable about finances at its most basic. But basically, it means the ability to understand and to utilize, being able to utilize the financial skills that we learn, everything from investing to personal finance management, to budgeting, basically everything you need to know around finance. I understand that people don't even learn it early on in life, but financial literacy is getting to know about your finances.
All right, thank you so much. So okay, we have Dollar Rice. Thank you for joining. Dollar Rice is supposed to be the other guest, but I don't know. We'll work around it and see what happens today. Thank you for joining. So Debbie Ogushala, thank you too for joining. So let me come to you, Bimbo. As per the training you just went to, what was your takeaway that has anything to do with financial literacy?
Okay, the takeaway from the training I did recently was that it's not just about saving. You don't just save, you save to invest. If you keep saving, you're saving, what's the percentage of interest on the basic savings account these days? At the end of the day, you find out that what you've saved over the years amounts to nothing. There is no interest, meaningful interest on it. But when you save and invest, then you save again and invest. You spread your investment over time. You realize that your savings become more meaningful. It's not just putting away money someday because, okay, I want to. It's putting away money and multiplying it at the same time. That is my takeaway from the training. So it's not just enough to save. Oh, I have this little money, I'm stashing it somewhere.
All right. Thank you, Bimbo. That's that. What is the interest? What are you gaining? Even if you're saving, to what purpose, right? If I understand what you're saying, like what do you gain at the end of your savings? All right. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
yes.
So Morenike, let me ask you this: managing money. Since we are talking about money, how do you know that you are doing okay with your money? What are there certain principles that you need to apply for you to know that, okay, I'm actually doing okay with money, or I'm handling my finances better?
All right, thank you. I'd like to buttress what Bimbo said. You know, it's not being okay. It's not okay enough to just say, "Oh, I am managing this money." You want to ensure that you're multiplying it. I belong to a thriving community of people who are, knowledgeable about finance and keep trying to do better with their finances, and that's Pat Stewards. And our mantra is like literally make, manage, and multiply money. So the make part of it is what people seem to do a lot of. You just make money, you make money. Managing the money is where your expertise comes in, where it shows that you can't just be there. You can't just be there and say, oh, like Bimbo said, I can't just say, oh, I'm putting something aside. Oh, I'm not eating all of what I have in excess. Beyond that, there's also the part about multiplying money. And so multiplying money is a conscious effort. You're either doing it alone, getting an expert to work with you on doing it, or gaining knowledge enough to be able to, deploy it.
Oh, wow. All right. Thank you so much. Bimbo, do you agree with, because I heard you just say just now. And
Yes,
Delara,
yes, I do agree with
if
that.
you have an opinion, you can just type it out, because we don't know how to bring you into so that we can hear you. But we'll appreciate if you can just like type out your own opinion, or if you have a comment about what we're talking about. They're still trying to figure out a way to bring you in between this. But pending that time, if you can just type out whatever you have to say, then I'll read it out. All right. Thank you. So you said you agreed with that, Bimbo. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, I do agree with that. If it's like I said earlier, it's not enough to save and just stash it away. You need to stash it in a place that is meaningful. If you cannot do it yourself, you need to get someone that is knowledgeable in that aspect to do it for you, to put you through. So what you're stashing becomes meaningful over time because it is growing, it is multiplying. It's not just about, oh, I have this money there. I have this money as at a year ago. What is it a year after? What is it 2 years, 5 years after? That is what really matters when it comes to having that financial knowledge. I need to know if what I am saving is actually growing or is just there.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So, since we are talking about saving, is there a particular way you need to save? Morenike, how do you save effectively? What are the best ways for you to plan and then save? Is there a method? There's this saying, there should be a method to someone's madness. So, is there a method to saving and planning?
Yeah. Okay. So I'd like to say this. In my community, we say leverage technology to your advantage. So for instance, that would depend on how people earn. But imagine that you're sure of your earnings and then you put out maybe a standing order that says at social time of the month, maybe on the 28th of every month, please can you do a maybe direct debit from my account that funds my investment account, that funds my maybe trust fund, that I believe we're still going to talk about, maybe the different things we intend to do. But I believe that beyond the willpower or are you motivated enough to save, I believe everybody in this age should leverage technology to help save money more.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Bimbo, do you want to add anything to that? Then Dolarai said true. So obviously she's agreeing with what you all are saying. Thank you, Fema. I see you. Tito's joined. Thank you. Bella Afro. Thank you. Esther Queen. Thank you. Auto Doctor. Thank you for joining. So, Ahmed, let me ask you. Do you agree with what she just said? Is there a method to saving? I think you're in the banking sector, if I'm correct. So is there a method to
Yes.
saving?
Okay. Over time, I've had this method to saving. Like out of your income, you save at least 20% of what you earn. At least 20%. I think in Nigeria we have this whole thing of I probably don't earn enough. I have a lot of expense, but at some point we really need to put that 20% aside. If you can't do 20% because what you earn is so little, why not do 10%? Just make sure you save something. After a short while, you invest it in something. Then you save again and diversify your investment. That is how you grow financially.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So when you say diversify your investments, can you expatiate a bit? What does that mean?
Okay, when I say diversify your investment, it's more like not putting all your eggs in one basket. I'm not going to save all my funds and just put it on maybe cryptocurrency. I'm not going to save all my funds and then put it on maybe ETF or bonds or stocks. I'm going to put a little bit of this on cryptocurrency. I'm going to put a little bit of this on bonds. I'm going to put a little bit of this on ETF. And I'm having multiple streams of income or savings at the end of the day.
Okay. Thank you. Morenica, I heard you saying yes. Do you agree with what she just said about diversifying your income?
Yeah. So permit me to be a little harsh. I want to say, no matter how small the money is, please save 20%. Please save it. So you spend what is left. You don't spend and then come back to say, oh, do I have enough? I hear that in some countries that work, they actually mandate everybody to save an amount. So picture a working client where they say, sorry, you have to save at least maybe 23%. Everybody will complain. It's our money. Why should anybody legislate? And then everybody will fall in line. So I think that we should save as a matter of, that's in short. I have a popular saying that says your future self, your current self owes it to your future self to just take care of it. Just take care of that, your future self. And there's no way to do that except you plan it ahead so that you don't become a charity case.
Oh wow. Thank you so much. That's deep in the words of my producer. That's deep right there. So your current self owes it to your future self to save at least 20%. Wow, okay. So okay, thank you, Bola. The Alpha Kings are here. Thank you, Tokwe. Thank you all for joining. So let's go back to investments, Morenike. In your own experience, I know smart stewards and all that. So I know they're particular about investments. Let's take an average person. I don't want to say Nigerian because I don't know, this is social media. This can actually travel further than just Nigeria. So what are the best, are there certain investments that is peculiar to everybody that you would suggest someone to engage in?
Okay. Thank you. All right. So the whole point of financial literacy is to make you knowledgeable enough, to make you aware enough as to take your own decision. The key word being your decision, not someone, in short, when someone promises to do it for you, think again. That's one. Now, in our own community, once you join our investment club, we're saying, can we even know your risk profile? Now, Odu, your risk profile is not dependent on, it depends, for some people it is age. So the way I would invest in my 20s is different from the way I would invest in my 40s. And so you come on board and we're saying, Bimbola, can you afford to lose money? Because with every investment, there comes a level of risk. So angel investors, for instance, are, in my words, gamblers. You invest in startups, 9 collapses, 1 blows. Legit, as in, let me use that word. 1 blows and then you become the next big thing. So, but for some people, they're saying, I can't lose 1 naira. You're saying, okay, you want to say pluck your money or you want to buy treasury bills? Do you get? So it's not a one size fits all. It's are you an amasser? Are you someone who's risk? Are you adventurous around investing?
Are you a risk
Do you
taker?
get? You say, what does it matter? Exactly. And if you're not a risk taker, can you go for something that is almost sure? But once it's almost sure, the returns will be very low. That is why I said for some fintech apps, they now do safe lock options. They are saying we will give you something a little higher than the banks, but your money, your principal, your interest is coming back to you. And people say, okay, so you
That's
know
good.
that this 100,000 could have become so much more. You just take 110,000 with no stories that touch. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. So I have a question. Either of you can answer. Someone just said, how can you save when you are in debt?
Mm, Bimbo, would you take that? Because
Bimbo?
I have
Okay.
something. Maybe I would let you go
How
first.
can you save when you
All
are
right.
in debt?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No matter how much in debt you are, I think to an extent you can save a certain amount and service your debt with a certain amount. So let's say we're doing the old 20% thing. You can decide to save 10% and service your debt with 10%. It shouldn't
Okay.
be an habit
Okay.
of I'm in debt. Oh, so I'm not saving anything. I'm not saving this because I want to service my debt. Only if the interest accrued on your debt will be higher than whatever interest you're going to get on your savings, then you can try to clear off the debt. But if the interest on the debt is still probably not as much as that on the savings or your investment, then you can go for your investment or your savings.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much. So, Maureen, let me come back to you with the same question.
Okay. That was a brilliant submission, by the way,
Yeah.
Bimbo.
Yeah.
The knowing that okay, you can actually debt, service your debt instead of saying, oh, sorry, I'm in debt, and even some countries are more in debt than most individuals. Okay, so that's on a lighter note. However, I think that like all things that we plan, I think that we can draw up a plan. So I assume that this person who's saying does it make logical sense to try to be saving just to
Saving while
be
you're in debt.
politically correct? You can say okay, yes, but you can say I will draw up a plan. Imagine that this plan is as long as maybe some 24 months, that says that I will try to I will try to service this debt until it's back to zero. In the meantime, I would say I will constantly communicate with the individual or the organization that I need to that I need to do right
So you
by.
know to.
So half the time, especially financial institutions, they don't even mind you once you default. Just keep communicating. Oh,
Yeah.
something happened. Oh, it was COVID season. Oh, there was a life happening. Whatever it is, I'm servicing my debt while trying to increase my savings because it is when I invest that I can even pay that off faster. Thank you.
Wow. All right. Thank you both so much. Okay, that's good to know. Someone said I was just about to ask that question. Good question. And they said sense that you both are making sense. All right. Thank you. So, I want to talk about something that is I
Aww.
don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's prevalent in Africa, but I know in South Africa they have a credit system, but I don't think we have that in Nigeria. And here in the US, we also have a credit system. So I want to ask you this, Morenike. Is there sense
Yeah.
in getting credit cards? Because like this is part of what can actually put you in debt. I just need to say that. So it doesn't make financial sense for you to get credit cards. Not just one, but two or three. Does it make financial sense to you?
Okay, so right before you got into the numbers, right before you
Uh-huh.
got into the how many we should get, all right,
Yeah.
I'd like to say it makes sense. So if you ever have to need your credit ratings, then it means that there has to be the metrics by which you are measured by which you're judged by. Based on that, credit cards make financial sense. However, delving deep into the better part of the matter is understanding that actions have consequences. That's the most adult thing that exists in this life. And then self-will and discipline is quite a thing. So you cannot say, so even in countries where credit is not prevalent, it means that once you're given, somebody comes to my house and says, can you just buy all your appliances? We'll just charge you a little more. Can you this? So long as I do not determine that, okay, can I pace myself at this? Do I have the wherewithal to actually furnish my house to the taste I want it to be? Are there things I can do without? Can I delay gratification for a bit? In the meantime, my ability to either lend and pay back is quite a thing, especially in the West. And for that, I think that we should employ those principles around discipline, around understanding consequences, around understanding that you ultimately are the one responsible for your financial future while leveraging the credit system. Because actually, I think credit makes the world go round. So the better part of the country where my domain country, my host country, Nigeria, the better part of the issues are because credit is not accessible to all.
Yeah.
Why should I need to buy a house and buy it 100%? Why should I need to buy a car when I can pay a fraction? Why can't I use my rent and use it to an advantage in my mortgage system? I know we'll get to that
Yeah.
later, but
Yeah.
credit makes sense.
Wow, thank you so much. Well, good evening, Oluwakemi. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Cutie. Thank you all for joining. So let me piggyback to what you just said about credit making sense. And I know I mentioned something about like how many should you get? Like if you have someone that is reluctant, like someone like me. In fact, when I was offered my second credit card, I was and it's because I know myself. You said something about control and all that. But then I
Yes.
want to ask you
Yeah.
that, like, how many credit cards do you think makes financial sense for you to keep?
Okay, that's neither here nor there. So I'd answer honestly. I was speaking with a friend ahead of this show, and I tried to ask, how does Nigeria differ? I used to be a family that used to live in Nigeria that currently live in the UK. And they said some banks will not touch you if you do not have, if there's no history. So it means that in the initial, even as you relocate, you may not be able to have access to what I
Certain
would term
things,
the
yeah.
affordable credit cards. It means that now you'll be dealing with institutions that are private who understand that you need this credit card. Their rates are higher. But either way, you need it, you need credit to be able to show and tell, to be able to say, oh, I can manage funds, or oh, I have been without debt. So I think in the interim, you deal with at least one. Once there's evidence of you paying back without stress, you paying back without defaulting on your payments, then it's okay to now go to the financial institutions and get this one, this affordable one, the one that is, occasionally you get zero interest credit cards, you get stuff,
Yeah.
but that may not be possible in the initial. So I'll say yes, it's not a one until you are sure you can afford more than one, because your credit ratings will show. Can you
Oh,
truly afford it?
okay, let me ask you. You said one. In my own case, like yeah, if you service one better, there is a chances that they will offer you
Yeah.
more. So even if you don't go to ask for more,
Okay,
they will
okay.
offer you more, they will give you more, they will increase your credit
They will
limit.
dangle it in front
They
of
will,
you.
yes.
Yeah.
So they will increase your credit limit just because you're servicing it well. So now I'm still going to, because I want us to help people. My sister is one of the people I want
Yeah.
to help with this. So if you have
All
just
right.
one and you're servicing it well and they're offering you another one, should you take it even though you know that it's free money in a certain way? It's not free, but at that point in time is free cash for you. Hello, what happened? Hello, Bimbo, can you hear me? I think we lost Morenike. We lost both of them. Oh, okay. All right, Tanebola Mira, you said you're like your friend now. I see you said you don't have even one. Your friend who doesn't want to get there, they keep offering her. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to. Then sorry people, just a few minutes. This battery is low, yeah, Richard. The battery of this Shola. Yeah, nothing is free in America. I know. But what I meant free, what I meant with free is at that point in time they're offering you money. You really don't need it, but because you've serviced one card better, so they're offering you this other one and saying, okay, yeah, this is for you. That's what I meant by free. Even though nothing is free, you're still going to pay it, but to a certain degree, you didn't work for it. They're just offering you. They're saying, come and take this money. So at that point in time, it's free. Okay? So the network is bad. Yeah, I know. We lost both of our guests, but I think one is back. Bimbo is back. Welcome back, Bimbo.
Thank you. I got
Yeah.
thrown out there for a bit.
Yeah, we are used to it. I'm shading you guys again. Anyway, so let's just keep on going while we wait for Morenike. We're talking about the credit. Okay, let me ask you. You work in the banking sector. How often do people come in for credit? Do you
They
know?
don't.
They don't.
Like, okay, we do this thing. Most when you talk about credit cards, I think Nigerians, the average Nigerian is actually skeptical about picking up a credit card.
Yeah.
They are actually skeptical. You give them a loan, they would rather take a loan. But a credit card, they don't want to hear of it. So we have sometimes we have products where we develop, like we create credit cards and we like send mails to customers or call them to come pick it up, and they will tell you over the phone, hey, please, I don't want this. I said I don't want credit card. Is it by force? Everybody is just scared of. I think it's because people don't have a deep understanding of how you work.
Yeah.
That's just it. Everyone is just scared of it and they don't even want to touch it with a 10-feet
Because
pole
to
or
them, to a
something.
certain degree, is what we call is like bese. I don't want
Bese.
this bese. So everybody
That is how they understand it.
Yeah, they
Bese.
don't want it because it's bese. Anyway, well, we're still waiting because I think we need to talk about this issue of credit cards. Someone said there's nothing like credit cards in Nigeria, but someone that works in the bank, being bank, just said there is, but people don't want it because we don't want to bese, like we call it. So
I think, like from what I am sure of, we only offer it to salaried individuals.
Okay.
That is what those are the people that are actually targeted, salaried individuals or
that they can just deduct from
people
their
in
account
business.
straight up.
Yes, or people with a regular business that has a regular flow of income.
Source of income.
But the average person, yes, would not just get it. So it is those salaried individuals that are targeted more. And even those salaried individuals, most of them are probably civil servants, a few private people, but they don't really want it. They don't want to get involved. They would rather take a loan. They'll tell you, offer me a loan, I'll take it. But a credit card, I don't want to see it.
Okay, what's the difference between a loan and a credit?
I think, to me, I feel there is no difference. But the way they understand it is the problem. There is no difference. There is this thing about credit cards. You pay, you're expected to pay a certain amount at the end of the month, which means you're servicing the credit card or this. But for loan, you pay back. They believe that, okay, for a loan, they pay back within such a period of time and then it is done. But they feel like credit card keeps pulling them more and more in debt, especially for people who do not have control.
Yeah.
Yes, for people who do not have control, they feel like they are getting neck deep in debt with credit cards.
But either way, you're still borrowing from the bank. Loan, credit card, you're still borrowing from the bank. It's just that the terms are different.
Well, yes, the terms are different.
Okay. All right. Amaka said they don't want bank people on their neck. So will bank people go after you if... But I think that happens only when it's the loan. Right, Bimbo?
Okay, yes. Like she said earlier, like the other guy said earlier, she said, as long as you communicate, as long as there is communication, the bank would not come after you like that. No, they are not loan sharks. It's a loan shark that will publish your picture and call every of your family. No. But with bank, you have, they give you like a first contact to remind you that you're not servicing your loan and all that. They give you a second contact again if they are not hearing from you before they actually go after your guarantor if they can't reach you. So it's not like they are coming on you or holding you by the jugular to pay off your loan.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Bimbo. Adebala said civil servants that have not been paid since last year September in Ondo and Ekiti State, the credit card would rather sit. I understand. I get what she's trying to say.
Of course.
Like, yeah, I
of course.
understand. So let's move on. Let's talk about ownership, home ownership. I don't know if... Okay, let me use this place for example. I know there's mortgage in Nigeria and then you keep paying for a certain time. Now, if you're getting home, you're buying a home that you have to spread the payment out, say for like 30 years, What financial sense does that make if you are not sure if that home will appreciate in 30 years?
Really, I feel it doesn't make sense. You have 30 years. 30 years, how old are you now? How sure are you that you're going to be in service to be able to pay up for the next 30 years? Then there is no assurance that there will be appreciation. Of course, the land might appreciate, but then what if you don't meet up with the mortgage, paying up?
Okay,
In that
sorry,
30
Bimbo.
years, you
Veronica
don't have
says
job
she's waiting.
security.
She said she's waiting. She said she can hear the conversation, but that she's waiting for the host. Huh?
Okay. Am I on air?
Yeah, we can. I can hear you, Veronica.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay. I can
Yeah,
hear
go
the
on, Bimbo.
conversation. I was trying to
Go on,
get
Bimbo.
in.
So what's the security you have that for the next 30 years you can actually meet up with your mortgage and clear it out? Then fine, it would appreciate. But if you don't meet up with your mortgage, what about foreclosure?
Okay.
So
All right.
I really don't think it makes sense when you have to spread so long.
Okay. Bimbo, Veronica, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you
Okay,
perfectly.
we can hear you, but we are not getting your picture. Can you go out and then come in again?
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah. Leave.
Okay. We're gonna still ask Veronica the question I just asked you, Bimbo, but go on. When she comes back, we'll ask her the same question. Go on.
So I don't think it's that sensible to spread it out for so long when you don't have this security on your job. Like I don't know, maybe in fact nobody has job security per se.
Yeah.
In the actual sense. It's just maybe for a few years, or you're here, depending on the value you add to yourself over time and all that. But then spreading it out for so long, then I think in Africa, we're really not into the old, especially Nigeria, we're not into the old mortgage thing.
Yeah.
We'd rather take a loan, buy land, build.
And build from scratch, yeah. But yeah, we can't just deal with Nigeria alone, because this is happening to Nigerians in diaspora.
Yes,
like you're thinking, okay, I had a conversation with a colleague before he moved to California, and he was telling me that he lived in Texas for like 15 years, and he never bought a house. He said because if he buys, then he's going to spread it out for 30 years, and then that 30 years, the house would have lost value. And so he was actually trying to tell me that he was like, Matilda, when you're ready to buy a house, if you have your cash, go ahead and buy it. But if you don't, do not do mortgage. And I think it was because he got a mail from the bank asking him for his mom bought a house, and he was angry. So I'm asking that question because for people in the diaspora, it's what we have to deal with. Now, what financial sense does it make for you to buy and not rent? So that's why I'm asking that question. Do you still have anything to add to it?
Yeah, I think it's just basically that you do not have the security. If you have the cash, if you have the full payment, you can actually buy. And then your mind is at peace that you don't have to worry about for the next 30 years, what if I don't meet up with my payment?
Okay.
Better than renting, in my opinion.
Okay, all right, thank you. Let's move. Someone said, let's talk about women and finances. That's from Adeshola. So let's talk about how you should handle your finances as a woman. Someone said how to handle finances in the home. So I know you're married. You're married with 3 kids, if I'm correct. So what suggestions do you have for women on handling finances in the home?
Okay. Handling finances in the home, you go for your needs first. The things you cannot do without, the things the home cannot do without. You're talking about groceries. If you and your partner have to split the bills in the house, those are the things you should focus on first and get that sorted. Then your wants, we can always, how do I put it? We can always cut some things out. It is not everything that you have to be a part of. It's not every ashwabi that you have to buy. It's not, I have to use luxury items. You can always get things that are not so luxurious, but will serve purpose. So then you'll be able to take out the part where you can actually save And then when your partner needs it, you can come forward and say, okay, this is a way I can support because I have something saved up. But when you want to do, oh, I have to be in every Ashwebi, I have to be in this, I'm buying your kids things they don't need because you want to, I don't know, probably show up or show off. And things you don't need generally. Basic things first, your needs, groceries, bills in the house, sorted. Clothing, the basic needs. Then you can now look at your wants. The unnecessary wants can go. The ones you can do without can go. The ones you can't do without, probably cable subscription because of the kids and maybe for your own entertainment when you need to relax, then you can put that in. But always remember to save no matter what.
Wow. All right. Thank you. Needs over wants. What do you need and what do you want? It's two different things. Most of the time,
Yes.
the lines are blurred. We think your needs are our wants. So, Adebola, thank you, sis. She said the speaker is making sense. We weren't brought up to take such risk, and coming to this environment with what is obtainable, we just have to key in. She was referring to the buying or renting question, and I sort of agree. They said when you're in Rome, you behave like the Romans.
Romans, yes.
Yeah. So let's go on with the handling finances as a woman. Now you made mention about this Ashwebi thing. I know, especially for Nigerian women, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So, how do you cut down on Ashwebi when most of your family, let's say it's a family function, one cousin is getting married this week, another cousin is getting married next week, your brother-in-law is getting married the week after, your grandmother is celebrating her birthday the fourth week, and these are something that is family related that you really can't get out of it. How do you navigate that? How do you prioritize that over your needs?
It depends on you as a person. That is my belief. It depends on you as a person.
Said she's
there are
waiting
some.
To be let in. Did you see her? Can you see her? Because she said she's waiting to be let in. Okay, go on, Bimbo.
It depends on you as a person. If my cousin is getting married in 2 weeks, I give him the option. I'm not going to be available. I'm probably going to be at work. Okay, for me, for someone like me that work weekends sometimes, I'm probably going to be at work, and I'll say, okay, since I'm not going to be around or something, I could just, instead of buying the Ashwebi, I could maybe half of the amount for the Ashwebi, just give it to him to support the wedding or whatever, and give the excuse of not being around. Not in the total sense. The truth is, in our savings, we need to actually put some part. Yes, we have obligations. This is Africa. You cannot escape it. You have obligations. But I personally, for one, I've just made the decision that, okay, it is really not a compulsory thing. For the ones that can avoid, I give you excuses like I have to be at work. And, for someone like, I have a boss that will tell you, he doesn't buy Ashwebi. We are very close. When I got married, he didn't buy it. He will tell you, I don't buy Ashwebi. Simply because I'm a worker in church and I do not wear native to church. So if I buy it, it's going to be at home and it's going to be useless. So it tells you, I don't buy Ashwebi. Okay. So you need to be able to discipline yourself to say, this one I can say no to. You need to be able to say no to some things, be assertive in some areas. Because if we really want to do, okay, I want to buy Ashwebi for everybody. I think recently I heard of an Ashwebi of like 250,000. And I'm wondering why. What is happening? Is the marriage taking place in heaven or where? I don't understand. So you need to just be able to say no and be assertive when saying that no. Because if you're going to buy Ashwebi now and it's going to affect your plans to probably get a piece of land or affect your savings towards an investment, then it really doesn't make sense.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Bimbo. So we have another question. The person said, what happens in cases where a woman earns more than the man and the man wants her to bear the major financial burden?
Please, how do I start this one? Okay. If I'm going to take it to the religious side, you're supposed to be a helpmate. Because I believe that whatever you're doing to make your home, your family better. So it doesn't matter if you earn more or your husband earns more. Whoever is earning more should do something to make everybody comfortable. To do something to make everybody comfortable. You're earning more, whatever bills you can pick up, you do. As long as the man is not being inactive, let me use the word. Inactive, not ready to do.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Shola's comments because I actually thought about it when I saw Checkers came in and you were talking about Shebi. I thought about it that Checkers will not like this one because that's how she makes her own income.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So go on. Sorry.
So if you earn more than your husband, you know that definitely you need to make the home comfortable. You're assisting the man, you're assisting yourself. Because if everything is not okay at the home front, you're probably not going to feel good where you are making the money from. Yeah. You're going to work with a lot of thoughts on your mind. But when you are earning more and you need to you support all the way. You're doing it for yourself, you're doing it for the man, you're doing it for your kids. And the best idea is just to support. As long as you have something to save, to invest or something, or you can also give your own, how would I put it, celebrate yourself in your own little way out of whatever you earn. But let it not be, it is my husband's function to do this or that.
Yeah.
If you're earning more, then pick up more, as long as the man is not inactive.
Yeah, I totally agree. If you're earning more, you pick up more. I don't know why we always have this question. But she's asking if she's in. Can we see her? Because she says she's in. Oh, wow. Okay, let me send her the link again and then, because there's a magic to this link thing. Okay, I was saying that I really don't know why we keep asking these questions, and I'm sure most of the time the question comes from a woman, because the truth of the matter is, if a man is earning more, we automatically assume the man should pick more.
That he should pick up more.
Yeah, that he should pick up more. But I don't understand why it will be an issue when the woman is earning more. We are now asking why is he expecting me to pick up more? Why do you expect the guy to pick up more when he is earning more? Because you're earning more.
You earn more. You don't want loan sharks banging on your door because your husband went to borrow money just to meet up. When you have the money and you can actually help.
As long as he hustles and he brings in what he has. It becomes an issue
that is
when
why
the man
as long
is a
as
lazy
he's not
person.
inactive.
Yes.
Yes.
So I don't know why we keep asking these questions. Grandma Tamalin is in the building. Thank you for joining, Grandma. And Sandra, hi, hello. Thank you for joining as well. So we are having a conversation about finances, how we can manage our finances better as women, especially. Because it's something that we really don't talk about often. Like I just said, we assume the man should be in charge of the finances, and so we just leave everything to the man. But as women, we have parts to play as well. If we're actually going to be helpmates, if we are going to help our husbands to, take our family to that place we always dreamed of taking them to, then we have parts to play as well. We need to be educative about all these things. We need to learn these things. We can't just assume and say, it is just, once my husband knows about it, then I'm fine. No. Yeah. What we know is what we teach our children. And statistically, they told you that the women are the one that impact, that educate the children more than the men. So we need to learn these things so that we can teach our children. So Adeshola said, support each other and make life easy for your family. Simple. So if you're earning more, you support your family. You're just
pick up more.
You pick up more. It's simple. I don't know why we keep having these questions. So we are actually trying to get Morenike back. Holding on some questions. I'm sorry, but I know Bimbo can answer the questions, but because Morenike is an investment person, I want her actually to give us clue on investments to help ourselves, multiple streams of income. So let's talk about this, Bimbo. Multiple streams of income. Aside your job as a banker, do you do any other thing else?
Okay, aside my job as a banker, I do a little bit of selling. I do perfume oils and underwears. I do mail my native fabrics too. That's what I do. But because my job is kind of so demanding, I'm always going on and off, because with the kids and little help and all of that, makes it kind of difficult when I have to run around and all that. But it actually makes sense to have more than one stream of income. You cannot depend on just one thing. I look at I thought of it as I'm like all these Okada riders, market women, you see them probably joining several contributions, and they have more others. You see them selling pepper today, tomorrow you see them probably adding a bit of yam to it or something else, or you see them selling. You just have to keep it flowing. Something has to be coming out of somewhere, because the truth is, whatever you earn monthly, truth be told, if you were to break it down, it wouldn't really get anywhere. And you wouldn't be able to save, you wouldn't be able to. But then now we have crypto, we have a lot of other platforms, even if you can't do buying and selling. Why you invest and something is coming in.
Okay.
You can always, regardless of what you do, you have all this fintech, POS points and all of that. That's bringing in another income. I have a colleague that does that. And at some point last year, he just dropped the letter and was like, okay, I'm going.
Wow.
I think with this, I'm fine.
Wow.
He's doing that, he's painting, is all that. You can't just afford to, with what the economy is saying worldwide, you just can't afford to sit on one stream of income. So you have to do something else. Look for something else you can do that would not affect your main job or your main source of income. Something you can do on the side that would always flow, and then you'll be able to balance yourself. Even with that, you will have more to save and invest against the future.
Thank you so much, Bimbo. I have Adebola Mira said, I believe it should be a mutual thing. Like, I just finished grad school and all be paid up. Why should the men be at the receiving end? My take is that we should build up our finances together. Yes, I basically that was what we talked about the questions that came in. So, in your own opinion, Bimbo, because we just need to go. In your own opinion, in Nigeria, let's take Nigeria for example. We know that most times when it comes to education, we don't owe bills. We don't owe, there's really no debt. You don't go into bed going to college in Nigeria. But here in the US,
no,
it happens. Some people keep paying their school debt till they are old. So there is a question that I want to ask in connection with this. And for your education, what is the best way for you to save when it comes to college?
Okay. I think during the training I said I went for, my facilitator said something about saving your last child, 75% of whatever would take your last child to college, even right before they get to college. She mentioned the fact that before you have the child, you can actually create a trust fund and start to save before it's time for the child to go to college. So I think maybe because of our own climb here, we are not into the old debt thing. So it is actually more, you have different plans with banks, with investment portfolios that you can just save up something that is focused towards your child's education. And whatever is here is strictly for education, or whatever is here is strictly for my own education, because I want to add value to myself, not to borrow or to say, okay, I want to owe loan. Maybe because we're not used to it here, because the whole idea seems strange to me. I'm not, but then you can always plan. Just like we said, saving 20% of your earnings. If you make it 10% for investment, then okay, let me say I'm taking 10% to education. Let me save this for my education. So when you are saving, you also have a goal. What am I saving for? So that is where education comes in. I'm saving for my education. This is the amount I want to save. Okay, maybe I'm going to take a course. It's going to cost me $10,000. How much am I going to save for the next two years to be able to take that course? So that is how you plan, not just, let me double into it. Okay, if it works out, I'll probably see someone that will help me along the line. What if you don't see someone?
Yeah.
So it's better to save over time with a plan towards the education thing. My take.
All right. Thank you so much. So they said versatile and smart speaker. Good job. So anyway, Amaka said, what if the main job is not flexible enough to accommodate another? Apparently, that's a question for the side hustle, the multiple streams of income. Side hustle is a very good idea. One doesn't necessarily need to depend on one source. Most times, the regular jobs don't give enough time for side hustle. What do you need to say about that?
Yes.
Because they're saying if the main job is not flexible enough for you to do something else, how do you go about it?
Okay. Sorry, excuse me.
Okay.
For me, as a banker, most times I think I have very few weekends where I don't go to work.
Do you need time to attend to her?
Somebody sorry, I'm resolving that.
Okay.
For me as a banker, I go to work weekends sometimes, but the little free time I have, there are things you can do that would not warrant you probably going to the market every time. You can have communication with whoever you buy things from. Like I have someone I buy from in the market whose phone number I have, and even when I can't go to the market, I just call him up and I tell him this is what I want, and he can always send it to me through dispatch. So you just have to create the time, maybe a one-time thing where you create a relationship with someone in that same market, and then you get what you need. It doesn't have to be you being present all the time.
Yeah.
And thank God we have dispatch riders. When your customers request for something, you can always find a way to deal with logistics and just get it to them. So no matter how busy you are, sincerely, I think there is a way you can always pull out time to start something, no matter how busy you are. And if it's something that is bringing in enough income, then you can always get someone to stay there and supervise it for you. The person becomes a link between you, like an advocate for you with your suppliers. So you know, oh, I have this person is reliable, the person can be there for me, and go pick up stuff, and then I keep selling. Then the little time you have, you just go there, take stock, and make sure that everything is going as it should.
All right. Thank you so
no matter how busy
much,
you are. You're welcome, Matt. Thank you too.
So, going back to the question of college savings, Adebola said you can also reduce college expenses by allowing the kids to take some college courses in the high school and community colleges. It saves a lot of college fund. That is primarily for us here in diaspora. I understand
going to say that.
Yeah, I understand what she's saying. So she's saying that we should allow the kids to take some college courses in high school and community college, and that will save with a lot of the college funds. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so Moranica says she's changing devices. We'll try and see if we can still bring her in before we go, because I think we are almost done. So let me ask you this, Bimbo. I hope this, let me just say this. This is not for anybody. All right? I'm not referring to anybody. I'm not talking to anybody. This is just a question that I came up with when I was doing a research on this. So we are quick to do this GoFundMe thing now. When someone is sick or when we lost someone, you know, we are quick to open a GoFundMe page. So I want us to talk about insurances, life insurance. Like, does it make financial sense for you to plan? I know as Africans we don't want to talk about it, we don't want to hear it. How can I be planning for my death? But does it make financial sense for you to take out life insurance?
Yes, it does. It actually does. You're saving your family, who are probably going to be going through a heartache of losing you. The headache of you're saving them the headache of how to thinking of how to survive after you're gone, or probably how to take care of the expenses of the burial or something. They have this security that, okay, after you're gone, they have something. Maybe your wife is not earning as much as you. Maybe you have kids, you have plans for them, and everything is not yet in place. But you have life insurance in place. Whatever they get from it, they can actually use to continue their life when you're not there. And they can always have like, they are provided for. It doesn't, they don't become charity cases. Because I don't know, the whole GoFundMe idea, I don't know why Africans are buying into it, because we really don't like the idea. Like, so somebody will now say, oh, Mr. Oberia, Babami, Abikiniko, or something. I don't know. But I just feel like, is it not safer that you pay a certain amount monthly, whatever, and you know that even after you're gone, the people you have left behind are safe, they are covered, they're taken care of. So I think life insurance is a yes thing for me.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So yeah, Adebola agreed too. She said it's very essential. But you know, as Nigerians, once you start doing that thing, you believe you are going to die. That you are planning your death. Like you know the way we think as Africans. Yeah. When they say
I
you are
understand.
planning for
I
death.
saw a post recently. I saw a post recently about a man. I think he was 70 or 71, or rather, he's 70 or 71, and he bought his coffin. He bought drinks they were going to use for the burial
Oh wow.
and kept it. He said because he doesn't want to be a liability to anyone when he dies.
Wow.
I'm sure our typical African people
They
will
will say,
say,
"Oh my dear, God forbid."
no, God forbid, oh. And you know,
Yeah.
it's even becoming a thing now. This one is buying coffin. Now they have this belief that, no, once the person is like 80 years, don't do birthday, or if you do birthday, the person will die soon, very soon. So you're not telling them to come and buy coffin or pay life insurance. Please, who would answer to that? But it's actually a very sensible thing to do.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Yes, Sandra said your beneficiary, that is the family, will worry less financially. Is vital and important.
Yes.
Yeah, true. And Esther Queen said planning for death. Nigerians hate the sound of life insurance or will. Okay. But the right will though. The right will.
Yes, they
Adebola
do.
just said, but Nigerians right
So
will.
what's the
It's
difference?
yeah.
So what's the
You know,
difference?
but then, at what percentage? Let's be honest with ourselves. What percentage writes their will? What percentage of Nigerians write their will?
Uh-huh.
You know,
I will even be honest
because
with you, like, they don't even, the whole next of kin thing, I don't think people really understand the next of kin thing. You tell them next of kin. Okay, let me give an example. Like in the bank, you tell them next of kin. They'll be like, oh no, I don't want them to know I have this kind of money. You understand? So
yeah,
I think it's just our way of thinking. It's just our way of thinking. But a larger percentage of Nigerians, of Africans, do not write will, because we are used to this thing that we came up with. Like, after you're gone, your family sits down to say, okay, this person take this, that person take this, and not that, oh, I have worked for my money and I can decide who takes what or what.
okay. Can we see Morenike? Because she just sent me a picture that she's showing on her own end that she's in. She's still saying the waiting for host thing. Uncle Josh. Yeah, because she just sent me pictures about the okay. So yeah, Sandra said nice talk on this insurance thing. We need to be enlightened here more in Nigeria about it. So Adebola gave us the statistics of the percentage that actually does will. She said 30% of Nigerians, which is impressive actually, because I didn't even know it was that high. I didn't know it was that high because I was thinking it would be like 10%. Very few, only the enlightening things towards that direction. Yes, Amaka, but we just got the statistics. They said like 30% of Nigerians actually write wills.
30%.
So yeah, we are getting there. We are getting there. So I'm trying, but we are not getting Morenike, but I think we are like done because we've been, if I'm not wrong, we've been at it for like an hour. So thank you so much, Bimbo. But before we go, we'll try and bring Morenike back some other time, and because she has some investment plans that I want to hear about, that she has told me about, and I think it would be selfish for me to keep it to myself, which is why I'm trying for her for us to get her back
Come
in.
back in.
But yeah, but I don't think it's working. I don't know if it's the network. I don't know what's going on, but we are not able to get her to come back in. So what we will do is bring her back some other time, and then she will come share with us what that, like, we are women. It's the pride of another woman is to see all women prospering, doing well. Yes, we want to pay the bills too. There's really no big deal in paying the bills, girl. Ladies, let's just stop this. My husband must. That's to be the man now. Let's stop it. So we want to be bosses, picking up the bills ourselves. So I am particular about, I know about Smart Stewards Investments, and she is one of their spokesperson. and she would have been able to give us, investment, things that we can invest in, especially for those at home, for those back home, and even for us in the diaspora, is things that we can actually do as well, which is why this. But like I said, we'll bring that back some other time. So thank you so much, Bimbo. Before we go, let me just ask you for if you are going to put your thoughts together about everything we've discussed today. What would be your final thoughts? What would be your final advice to women? I know we've talked about Ashwebi. We've talked about the home front. We've talked about, I think we should talk about managing 500 naira for a pot of soup. Is that possible? Is that realistic?
No. It's impossible.
But
Actually, very impossible.
I think she's backing. Finally.
Hi, Odu.
Finally.
In short.
Back.
Okay. I was planning to join the conversation.
I know.
Enter the conversation.
Yeah. We are glad you're able to come back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So we are going to apologize to you people. We are going to go a little bit more than 1 hour. I hope you all don't mind. Yay! I agree on your behalf. I agree on all of your behalf. So, let's bring Morenike in. Morenike, so when you were gone, we talked about some things. I know you had some of them where we were talking about the sense of like you are an investment person. So from an investment perspective, does it make financial sense for you to buy a house or to rent one?
Okay. So I must tell you that. Okay, I had an opinion and then I listened to Bimbo's make sense argument. And I'm thinking, I also heard you and your colleague and the Texas issue. And now I'm thinking, okay, is everybody trying to say, okay, buy down if you can afford it? I believe that everything you can defer money on is always more worthy. Let me explain that. If you can defer money, why should I buy? Earlier on in this conversation, I said, why should I pay fully for anything that I can pay in installments? I talked about economies that run on credit. It's about how economies work. So based on that, I'd rather invest. I'd rather invest in a home than keep paying rent, because with rent, it never becomes mine. There are strategies that show that, I can put a down payment. Once I pay my rent, I can use my rent as a down payment. Normally happens in the West. I use it as a down payment, maybe for my mortgage, such that now I'm paying my rent purposefully, even if I still have to spread payments. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah?
It does.
Exactly. So for me, it is not I'm not going to say the system is rigged against most people, but if it were easy, if everybody could buy a home outright, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, true.
Of course.
True.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. That's another perspective. You put things in perspective. I'm sure what she was talking about is like now, when you're looking at it as an investment, what are you getting at the end when you're done paying for that house? What are the guarantees you have that you will appreciate and it was actually a good investment? That was where she was coming from.
Okay, so save for exceptions, real estate actually appreciates. Are there issues of foreclosures? Yes. But based as in are foreclosures the most prevalent thing? No. Yet again, it boils down to how disciplined we are. You could face a foreclosure aside the economy crashing. You could face a foreclosure because maybe you're not meeting up your payments, but on the regular, real estate is something that people will tell you that if you really can invest in real estate, you can almost close your eyes to sleep, knowing that you appreciate. It's a tax result. It is never enough. Do you understand me?
Yeah, I do. All right, thank you so much. So while we were gone, I was telling them that you are an investment person, perhaps smart steward.
Yes.
And I want to give us suggestions of, as women, what would you suggest us to invest in? I don't just want us to just say, okay, I want to be spending my husband's money. No, it's a good thing actually to spend my husband's money, but then I want to have my own money. So as women, what do you think we should invest in? That's actually beneficial.
Okay, so
because I don't want this idea of is his money is my money, but something that benefits our family as a whole?
Okay. So I'd like to say this. I think that women should let's trash this idea that we are helping. It is for us. About everything is for us. I listened in on Bimbo's argument.
Yeah.
The home idea is not you helping. No. I saw you correcting somebody on the session, on the call, to say, why does this question keep coming up?
Yeah.
When we affect a certain level of knowledge, we understand that it ultimately is ours. The building of the home, and I do not mean physical bricks. So it's not a we helping out. So that now that we've trashed that, what should we be investing in? I believe in huge collaborations. I think that women can do so much more. They amass so much more in savings. If they're dedicated, they can pull through things together, coming together to maybe buy home, to flip in the West, coming together to maybe put things together, maybe to have a mall in our names, that you can maybe also still sub-rent or sublet. I think that women should invest. I listened in on Bimbo's conversation where she said we should only buy the necessaries, and I cannot agree more. I mean, we should only buy the necessaries while saving money to build this home, because it's not going to build itself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. So I'm going to put you in the spot. Let's talk about investments with smart stewards. Because I told you at the beginning of the show that I know Shola Smart, and I know how she's particular about investing. So now, like I said, I don't want to keep the knowledge of things that I know to myself. Let's just share for other women. What are the investments that you have on smart stewards that everybody here can benefit in? Someone said women should invest in gold. I see they said gold. Yeah. They said, what do you think about investing in gold? They said joint stocks and then cryptocurrency. Yeah. So do you agree with all this? Okay. What can you add to that?
Okay, I'd say some with a bit of a clause. So if you want to invest in crypto, you should understand crypto, which is another reason why you should be at the Smart Stewards Investment Club. You just told me now, what are our investment plans? What are we doing? Ultimately, we have an outlook on 2020. What and what is working, what and what is dipping, what and what you should be putting your money on. So, and like I said, we will not say, Odun, please bring so amount, and please put it in this agri-invest, or please put it in this NFT. It would always be based off the knowledge you now have after having gotten more literacy. What do you think you can, what do you think, what are you making of that information? That's what you should be investing in. But yes to gold, all time, every time. Yeah. Yes to investing in other currencies, other economies. So for instance, at Smart Stewards, it's a no-brainer. We do the dollar challenge all the time. We say what dollar was 2 years ago, the equivalent currently. It means that if I was saving in Naira, I could have it depleted. It makes absolute sense that I would want to do a dollar challenge and be able to assess other forms of investment. Now I say to everybody, this is the best time to be alive, the best time, because Kotsi Bamboo, I can actually have investments in other clients. And then more importantly, I can now have a fraction of a share. Like, hello, Elon Musk reports to me. Hello, Google reports to me. Without my fractional shares, forget it. They are reporting to me. So why? Let's leverage. Yeah, I am at the AGM. I am an important member. You don't even want to know how many of that fraction that I own. But thanks to the new world, we actually can have fractional shares and be a part of whatever it is that's going on in the big world.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you so much. I hope you guys caught all that. Like, be the boss lady. I hope we all caught that. Anyway, thank you so much. Yeah. So,
you're welcome.
One other thing we talked about where you were gone is life insurance and go.
You talked about about Ashwebi. If you know my opinion on that Ashwebi, we will not close today.
Talk about Ashwebi.
Okay, so Bimbo had started the conversation and it was getting interesting, and I was still pining. At that point I was pining to enter into the conversation to say, you know what? At some point, as Africans, we have to understand if something is not needful. It's not people, everybody has tried to shame Ashrebi. However, fabric sellers are still selling. So somebody is
Yeah.
buying.
Yeah.
So I think at some point, Bimbo now finally said, can we inculcate it? So expenses are not going to stop. They're not going to start declining. As a matter of fact, we're only going to make more. Now, when I have 8 parents and it matters to them, maybe Bimbo is my cousin,
Yeah.
Odu is my senior sister, and they want me to do something, I could indulge them. Now, when I indulge them, it will not be at the expense of my financial wounding, let me put it that way. But I may have
Yes.
factored it in such that when I'm now buying Bimbo's Ashrebi, I am buying, it looks like something I planned. Because when I decide that I want my children to go out every month as a form of bonding, I do not see it as an expense. I see it as an investment. I see it as something that I'm doing that we already planned to do. And so while all Ashrebi would not float my boat, I do not want us to demonize it as it were, not because I'm a fan, I'm just saying at some point, because now we see
Yeah.
people who, I noticed when Bimbo said, oh, our boss will not buy. Hello, I'm going to a function this next weekend. A friend is coming all the way from, she was at my 40th birthday. So there's also loyalty and a bit of, she has
Yeah.
served,
I
she has
get
done
you.
something for
I
me.
get you.
I need to
There are
do
some you
something
can
for
get
her.
out of.
And
There's some you can't.
and she's
There's some.
she's burying her father-in-law. Hello, she bought the whole fabric, she
You have
bought
to buy.
everything and sent to us. Do
Yeah.
you get? I didn't even buy. She bought everything. You know, that's another level of high. She
Wow.
bought, so I would have shamefacedly bought because I've
Yeah.
seen her support it. She bought my
Support.
book,
Yeah.
she distributed it to people, and there isn't you cannot logicalize this. And so, you know what I still said, okay, it's a long January, please send the account details. She said, no, just be sure you're coming and I'll have your Ashrebi sent. See,
Wow.
you're doing this thing, eh?
Yeah.
It is
Wow.
and I'm not applauding her. I'm saying that she
Yeah. I
planned
get
it.
you.
She
Yeah.
factored it into her cost.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And so we'll be there talking about the should actually be some are even low quality, all that, and then somebody else is cashing out by using a different strategy. So she has me tied down loyalty wise. And so I'm going to the function, and like good case, I don't even have to buy. So I'm not being a hypocrite on this show tonight, like
Yeah.
saying, you
Thank
know
you.
what,
Thank
Ashebis
you.
are
I
not
don't know.
it. All right.
Let me to confess me. I do Ashwebi. I do Ashwebi. I do. In fact, I do the
It's
one that is
not.
not Ashwebi. No, God help me. God will help me. Me, I'm
You
not
can
doing
buy the
Eh,
necessary one.
yeah,
I'm putting
and
it.
your disposable income. Yeah, we are
Yes.
taking you up on
That.
discipline. Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
will.
Yes.
Take me up. Shola actually said the same thing when she came last year, January. She said I will be on your
We're
case.
taking you
So
up. Exactly. It looks
she
like
said
you
I
need
will be
close
on your case.
watching.
And she tried and tried. When I didn't answer, she left me. But I promised to do better. Okay. So
Alrighty.
the
Okay.
question that I asked before we went to that was the life insurance and GoFundMe. I like I told Bimbo, but the trend now is once we lose someone, we open a GoFundMe account and we're asking people to like come do this, come when we could actually have a plan in place for it. So what is your own thought about life insurance? Should we does it make financial sense or should we just keep on doing GoFundMe?
Okay, so I am the rightest or the wrongest person to ask this question. I've had a stint in insurance, in the insurance sector. So
Okay.
it means I can market you on it because I believe, okay, so something not just only helps me save money. I did finance in school, and so I can amortize. Now somebody is saying that I can still get that my money, although there is a cover. So I'm team life insurance. That's one. Self-worth wise, I do not see how GoFundMe is sustainable. Let me explain. Occasionally, there will be a play around sentiments where, this person was doing good for the world. Hello, this person is dead. Oh, this person has 2 children, was the most absolutely fabulous person. And occasionally, it will work. Now, picture when it does not work. Picture when economies are crumbling. GoFundMe will never
Uh-huh.
be the sustainable option. It will never. Now, if you have self-worth, you say anything I can beg for, I can
I
work
don't
for it.
want. Yeah.
So the same way I'm on this show, it means that I can go to a training today, being a Saturday, earn money, and then plan my life, God willing, than me saying, oh, when it comes to, I'm going to play on people's sentiments. How much more sentiments until people get tired? Have you seen instances where people are paying for a GoFundMe and then life happens? Because hello, life would happen. So we're paying for something. Oh, this person died during NSAS. Oh, it was so pathetic. Oh God, she had this plan, and we're paying, and then somebody's leg just breaks down the road. No, GoFundMe is not sustainable in my books, and it doesn't even exactly align with my values. So while I'm not passing judgment, I'm saying life insurance every time over GoFundMe.
Okay. Thank you so much. Wow. I hope you guys are taking notes. You see, I wasn't wrong when I said get your writing materials. Okay. So now the
Yeah.
last one we talked about with Bimbo was the best ways of investing. I don't
Okay.
know if we've talked about that. What do you think are the best way of investing? I know we've talked about gold and all that and all that. Yeah, I think we have, right? Or do you have
Okay.
anything to add
Okay.
to it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I said I like the idea of gold. Gold would always appreciate. I like the idea of collaboratively investing, meaning what you cannot achieve alone, you crowdfund. Like I could own one over 24% of banana in Nigeria, and you can't even shame me. There's no way you're shaming me that I'm even accepting because, hello, once they've decided that it's viable, 1/8
So
of it,
buy.
viable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
1/24
you're
of it
cashing out.
viable. So it's that thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's when you think, in the old way where you think, oh, I have to own the whole plot. I have to own
Yeah.
the whole hectare.
Yeah.
Who's demanding the rules? Anyway, I'm cashing out where somebody is actually deciding. And then there's also the part around with crypto, I'd like to say though, that is so phenomenal, we can't grasp it all. So get the knowledge of it. Get the knowledge of it. In the month of March at Smart Stewards, and no, this is not even me trying to market shamelessly. In the month of March, every day, March 1 to 31st, we're going to be talking crypto on our free platforms, on our paid platforms, on our Facebook groups. And no, you don't want to miss that conversation because even I am curious. We have a coach who is very in on it. We have an in-house coach who is very in on it, but I am coming paper and jotters ready
To
to
write.
be able to, milk this and then invest after.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, okay, now the everybody that joined, thank you. I know some people joined now. Fala, Pim, Slademan. Thank you for joining. Jane Mirabel, thank you all for joining. I appreciate each and every one of you in case I don't mention your name. So the word of gold, and you talk about investing in gold. So I'm bringing this up because it happened to me recently. I had some gold that I wanted to sell. And this is something I bought in
Okay.
2010. But nothing, of course,
Yeah.
gold never depreciates. But then this is for us
Yeah.
in the United States of America because I know gold is really not a thing in America. So I took it to a store. I saw a gold store and I said, okay, let me just go in there. And they were telling me they were buying it for $80.
Okay. Should I contribute to that?
Yes, please.
Okay, so location has always been a thing. So it means that even what Nigerians consider gold is yellow gold. So I've seen instances where, because I know a bit about gold, and so you look at this ring and tell me that it is gold, and I'm thinking, Kotie, yellow,
Shey gold.
put on my vernacular. And you get, because London gold is near depressing, I dare say. I mean, something looking whitish like this, right? So it means that same gold, Odun, you would have packed it to the motherland. In short, you can get an angel carrier or help yourself for free.
Casting out.
Do you get? Because
Yeah.
yes, because it means that once again, don't forget that while somebody is selling something in the open market for 2,000 naira, somebody is curating something for high net worth individuals. It is always still going to be about that good and about positioning, about that good and the person that appreciates it. People talk about Idumota in Lagos and how close it is to the Lekkis. So what you would see in Idumota for near PTNs, all you need to do is just drive 30 more minutes and then you see the Warner Gunners who are going to buy it at the right price. Right? So I think that it should be you want to buy gold, nothing has gone wrong with that gold. Odun, ferry it to the motherland. Would ensure that, what are they talking? 80,
That's what I
don't
said.
even
I
talk
just
to
said
them,
you give me
just
my
tell
gold.
them.
Whenever I go to Dubai, I'll
$80.
sell
Of
my
course,
gold there.
$80.
Yes, now.
I'm angry,
Yeah,
I'm angry
$80,
again on your behalf.
Yeah, thank you.
Abby.
I didn't even say anything. I just wanted to give you my dream, like
exactly,
the
we
one I
cannot
bought 12
sound.
years ago. You're not saying $80.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine 12 years
You'll
ago
be shocked,
when
you'll
gold
be
was
shocked if
2,500 per gram?
can you
I
imagine?
think
And
it's
it's like
about
28?
24,
8
26.
now,
Yes.
now,
28,
exactly.
28,000 naira.
Eh,
You're not telling me $80. I didn't even say
exactly.
anything. You were just, I just said, just give it to me.
Just give me, give it to me.
$80.
Ah,
No, they said my
I
activity
get.
too. I Cookman did not sell. I just saw the gold shop, and I said let me even try because I don't buy gold in America. So I said let me try and let me.
Yeah.
And I said I say $80. I said Don't worry about it.
Ah,
Thank you.
Nibo.
You know,
No.
anyway, and so
Yeah.
I asked that question because you need to educate yourself, learn about these things. Don't just say I'm just going to go and do it blindly. I've read news of reports of some people saying, and someone gave me something I didn't even know, and I went to sell it, and they gave me 30,000 straight up, and another person came and saw it and put their
Ah.
hands on their head and said, Jesus, you sold this for 30,000. So you
Ah.
need
Ah,
to educate yourself, read up on all these things, know your market, whatever it is you
location,
Yeah.
want to invest
positioning.
in. It might not be gold,
Mm-hmm.
like Morenica said, it might be crypto. Read up on it, educate
Yeah.
yourself on it, and know what you are investing in. Even if it's Tesla, you know, whatever it is you want to invest in and cash out on, educate yourself on it.
Yeah.
Get the knowledge of it. So thank you both
Yes.
so much. It's been educative, it's been entertaining, it's been eye-opening. And I know we just struggle, but me, I'll try and do better. I need a coach. That was what I told Shola when she came. And she said she was going to be my coach,
You
but
do
then she
need a
gave up on
coach.
me.
Do now. Do. I'm
She gave
sorry.
up on me. I know you two will get on my case. But thank you both
And you
so
should
much.
get on your case, actually.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You should. I need someone like that, honestly. I need
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Bimbo,
So.
God bless you so much. Yes. Oh, Morenike, the
Thank
Shola
you.
said I like this Morenike Joe. Yeah, thank you all so much. And she likes Bimbo too. Thank you all so much. I appreciate all of you cashing out on gold. We bought gold. Yes, that's my sister. She knows now that when we're buying gold, then we'll buy it anyhow because
Yeah.
2.5. But you will not go and sell it. Someone will not be
Can you
pricing
imagine?
nonsense for you. Anyway,
In short, I should be calling you chief before you land.
until I get to
Because
Dubai, when I go and cash out on
yes,
it, you can call me chief. You
yeah,
can call me chief.
people.
Yes.
I can imagine.
Thank you both so much. They said both speakers are good and smart. So thank you so much, Bimbo. Bimbo actually held down the fort
Thank
when you were
you.
gone, you know. Thank you so much. Like I said,
Wow.
she's
Yeah. She was
it's
firing on
obvious.
both cylinders.
I'm sure the other people are wondering what is Ame. For you that don't know her, that's Ame. She's our number one fan. She's always there cracking us up every day when we come live on this show. But today she is one of our guests. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Morenike. So like I said at the start of
You're welcome.
this episode, I said there will be an announcement. So the announcement is this. We know we always do a giveaway, but then there will be a twist to our giveaway now. You have to listen from start to the finish, and there will be a game at the end about that topic. So we are not going to be doing the contribution or you contribute more. Yeah, she's answering okay. She's our number one winner of all our giveaways. So she's answering okay.
Okay.
But now there will be a twist to it. There will be a game, and that game will be about the topic of that episode. So we are not going to do that today. We are going to do it tomorrow. On our next episode. So you have to listen from start to finish, and then there will be a game at the end, and it's going to be fastest fingers first. So that is it for a giveaway. Because I know some new people are joining in for the giveaway, but there will be a twist to the giveaway. And then the other announcement is by May, on Real Talk, we'll be having a cooking segment. We have someone who is also a fan of the show that want to be coming to show us how to make all these quick fixes. You know, it'll be like 10 minutes or so. She's just going to show us how to make banana pudding. I know, like Nigerians, but you know all those quick things that we just snap on. She will be showing us and giving us the recipe on how to do that on the show. So we have a lot of things we are trying to work on to make Real Talk, you know, the banger, like they used to say. Okay, so thank you all so much. Morenike, we'll continue our gist behind camera. Okay.
We have to.
So, yes, we will. Thank you so much. And Bimbo, thank you so much. And to the both of you, my love, to the kids. Can you tell them I said they behaved well today? They did good.
Will do.
Thank you guys so much. And for everybody that commented, for Adebola Amira, Adeshola, Sandra, Bamsi B, Bola, for Braids Bolly that just joined, every one of you, I might not mention your name, it's an oversight, but I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. And for everybody that shared the flyer today, I saw it on everybody's story. You know, this is the first flyer that I think
Yes,
went
so
viral somehow. I see a lot of people sharing it on their stories. Yes, yes. And like I said, I will give you a story of what happened about today's show very soon. But thank you all so much. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the. In fact, at times I'm short of words. But thank you all so much. This gives
Aw.
when I see things like this, it tells me I'm doing something right and that I'm getting across to people.
Yeah.
It's like a booster. So thank you
yeah.
all so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. And then our next show will
Alrighty.
be we're not having a show next week. We have a show the week after, and then we have the week after. But you know, as we roll. So I'll see you guys. Remember, my name is still Odun. I'm still your friend. I'm still your sister, and I'm still a woman like you. Catch you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Alrighty.
Bye. Bye. Thank you guys. Bye,
Bye.
Veronica. Thank